Alright, everybody, the turning point for the entire Dance of Dragons. Let's start off with everybody's favorite, Daemon Targaryen for the Team Blacks for the Blacks. What sins did he commit? Oh, well, let's start off with something that needs to be very clarified. Daemon has groomed Rhaenyra at a young age for her to like him sexually. You take your niece out to a brothel is another sin. Ruining her reputation with other lords is another sin. You have committed 3 sins already for that. And the fact is, the matter is, you don't even deny that to her own father. You committed 3 sins in this episode. 1, you groomed your niece at a young age. 2, you took her to a brothel to get all hot and bothered. And 3, you're ruining her reputation, not only with the realm, but with her father. You committed this sin. You did this to ruin her reputation, so she would have no choice but to marry you, so you could get a piece of the kingdom. So you could become king of the Iron Throne while she remains as queen, since she is the official heir. So Daemon Targaryen for the Blacks, you have committed 3 more sins for your team, and you have a total of 7 sins for Blacks. But you're not the only one to commit a sin in this one. Rhaenyra has now committed sins for the Blacks, and she committed 4 sins in this episode, in my opinion, of her making silly choices, stupid decisions that cost a lot of things for her future problems later on in the series. I'm not including her sleeping with her, like her and her uncle going out to that brothel, because again, he groomed her, he brought her in the situation. Should she have known better? Maybe she should have, but then again, this is a girl who's been mentally abused since a young age, so I'm not even including this a sin for her. So her being with her uncle is not really the sin. Now, the actual sin that she commits is when she denies the suitors very early on in episode 4. And people don't think this is a big deal. They think this is a girl boss moment. But the fact is, these future lords will be not only pining for your hand, but there are future alliances for you as a young ruler. And the thing is, though, how you react to them, how you treat them, is going to affect, ultimately, your relationship with them. Basically, she had a girl boss moment. Yes, she had a right to deny young people. Yes, she had a right to deny the old man that was older than her father. But the way she handles it, you could be right in a situation, but how you handle things is another effect. So I'm giving her 1 sin for that. This is her first sin, truly, that she commits. This is just her being a little bit naive to the realm and to her duties. The second sin she commits, she sleeps with Sir Criston Cole. That's 1 sin. Sleeping with a Kingsguard is a big no. Ruining your reputation as a princess is a big no for yourself. I get you're young, you want to have sex, and this guy's clearly into you, obviously. But you put yourself in a situation while sleeping with him. Obviously, if you end up pregnant, that is your mistake, your fault. So that is another sin for her. Also another sin, she puts his life at risk, because we all know she will never be threatened with exile, torture, or death. That will have to be none than Sir Criston Cole. If he's found out, he's killed off immediately. People say he could have said no. He did say no. People say he could have said no higher. I'm just going to reflect on this, people. If you all seriously want to go about the whole no means no, believe me, if we did the gender roles reverse, and it was Prince ordering a young servant girl to be with him, that is coercion. So to me, this is a sin on Rhaenyra because she puts her own Kingsguard's life at risk because of sleeping with her. That's another sin. And the final sin I'm going to give to her is her denying that she slept with Daemon and swore on her mother's grave that Daemon never touched her. Now people want to excuse this fact that Alicent lied to Rhaenyra about the king. No, Alicent committed a sin, in my opinion, for not telling Rhaenyra about what Alicent's doing with the king. That was Alicent's fault. That is a sin. Now, Rhaenyra, the fact is, you decide to lie under your mother's memory that Daemon never touched you when clearly you were kissing. Clearly you're doing this. If you wanted Alicent to have faith and trust in you, you should have faith in Alicent to understand where you're coming from. And so, you just told her the truth that you just kissed Daemon, and that was it. You did not sleep with him, and maybe you could tell her about Criston. This is something that she could help you and prepare you for. If you're honest with her, Alicent, again, this is coming from 2 women who really need to put trust in each other. But for this is another sin. You lied on your own mother's soul. Sorry, that's a sin right there for me as well. 4 sins for Rhaenyra, 3 for Daemon. That's a total of, I don't know, 7 for the episode. And we got a total of how many for the blacks already? Oh, that's a total of 10. So I'm sorry. There was 3 sins for Daemon for this episode and 4 for Rhaenyra in this episode. But Daemon had previous sins already, so to me, that would equal, I don't know, 10 points total. 10 points sins for the Team Blacks, and for the Greens, well, and again, for scoring for the Greens for this encounter is none other than Sir Otto Hightower. Now, here's the thing. Otto telling the king of Rhaenyra's discretions is technically not a sin, because when a young princess is being married off, the fact is, if she has any suitors that are trying to be with her, and if she's threatening their entire relationships with future marriages because she's sleeping around, that affects not only her, that affects her being heir, and that affects the future kingdom that she's going to rule over. Otto's not wrong in reporting it to the king, but the fact is, we all know what Otto is doing. He's doing this so Rhaenyra could get kicked out as heir, and Aegon could be named the new heir. King Viserys was completely right in dismissing Otto. Otto Hightower deserves this other sin, one more sin, because he just had to keep on pushing. He had to keep on pushing for one more sin for the freaking Greens. And again, Otto has committed another sin for the Greens, and he's the only one to commit a sin early on for episode 4. So the Greens get one more sin for this entire dang episode. Looks like we have a new team that just took over for episode 4. Now let's go over who has the most sins. Otto Hightower leads the Greens for his team. He has 6 sins total for everything he has done. For kept being on the pusher, for his advancements, he gets 1 sin total for his team. And Alicent, she has scored one more point. She has scored only 1 point for her team since the episode 2. So 7 sins total for the Greens from episode 1 through 4. But now the Blacks have taken over. They have a total of 11 sins. And 11 sins, 4 go to Rhaenyra, 4 go, and 3 more go to Daemon Targaryen. Daemon Targaryen has now 7 sins total for Blacks, and Rhaenyra Targaryen has a total of 4. So the Blacks have taken over. It's 11-7. Now, we'll see if the Greens can now scheme up something more and can do something more to ruin everybody's reputation. But so far, everybody, the Blacks have now taken over the lead. What's your personal opinion? You think I should give a higher score to some other person on the Greens? Even though I don't think Alicent has fully gone full-fledged villain yet in this entire show, and I don't believe right now, up to this point, she's in any wrong other than what she did not tell Rhaenyra, that she was sleeping with the king. Otto Hightower is a full-fledged person who has committed the most sins for the Greens, but to me right now, the Blacks have taken over just because Rhaenyra has committed now new sins. She's finally committed sins, and they are very devastating to her and to her cause for the Blacks. But that's my personal opinion, everybody. What y'all think of this entire video? Do you believe the Blacks are... you believe I'm being too harsh on the Blacks? You think I'm being too lenient on the Greens? What's your personal opinion, everybody? Angel Lee Scarford, everybody. Bye-bye.